Hello everyone, it is time for deck of panning. I have my cards here, I have my products here. Let's do this thing. Deck of Panning is a project that was created by Emily from Emily and Max. She was inspired by a booktuber named Books with Maddi, who came up with a way to gamify her to be read pile using a deck of cards, and we are just doing the same thing with our makeup collections. Let's take a look at the products I have been working on over the last month, and then we will draw some new cards. This is a pretty momentous update because I have finally finished my goal on a product that has been in this project since January, and that is my NARS Narcissist Face Palette. This is a beautiful little palette with a couple bronzers, a highlight, some blushes. All of these things work on me. Face palettes can be a little tricky because there's usually at least one product in there that you don't like, or at least you don't like it as much as the other things in there. And so you're very rarely using all the products in a face palette, but this one is an exception. I use every single product in this palette and I enjoy all of them. So back in January, I pulled the prompt in it for the long haul, and that meant I needed to choose something that was either going to take me a while to pan, or I needed to choose a pretty big usage goal. There was no way I was going to hit pan on any of these, so I set the goal for myself of 50 uses. I usually don't go for such high usage goals because I really enjoy shopping my stash in this project every month, but it seemed appropriate for the prompt. In any case, she is done. I hit the 50th use a couple of days ago. I did really enjoy using this palette. This is just such a solid palette for me. I enjoy everything in here. I do have some other cheek products that I've kind of been waiting to focus on until I was done with this one, but I really did enjoy having this rolled into this project over the last several months. Then last month, I pulled the 5 of diamonds, and that was for the prompt Precious. You're supposed to roll in something that either you haven't touched yet or something that is very precious to you. I don't have anything in my collection that I haven't touched yet, so I went for the latter interpretation and I rolled in this Adept Minka palette. This palette is precious to me because it was sent to me from a lovely friend here on YouTube named Ruth Foley. I will link her in the description box below. She sent me this beautiful palette all the way from Ireland after finding out that this was kind of my palette that got away. I had thought about picking up this palette for a long time before it finally went out of stock and was discontinued. Such a lovely and thoughtful gesture. I rolled this in No Pan Left Behind, which is honestly quite a feat because these are some, I mean, these shimmers, they do not play. These shimmers go hard. I would swatch these for you, but then I would have glitter everywhere by the end of this video. These are gorgeous, but the glitter does get everywhere. If finding glitter in your eyebrows the day after you take off this makeup is your nightmare, like, this is back it up, just back it up. This one is not for you. She's so beautiful though. I am willing to subject myself to that. But honestly, No Pan Left Behind was a pretty big goal. I have not met my goal on this yet, so this will be staying in. So far, I have managed to use, I think I've used Minka twice. I have used Cora, Ava, Layla, Maya, and Selena. I think those are the ones that I have used. I have yet to use either of the mattes. I've just been kind of adding these shimmers to looks I have made with other palettes. I still need to use Luna, Emma, Nora, and Selena. Those are the ones that I have yet to use, plus the 2 mattes here on the side. So I have a little ways to go with this one. I have been doing a lot of kind of barely there makeup over this last few weeks. It's been kind of a busy and stressful month. Gosh, I feel like I say that every month. I feel like there was a time in the not too distant past where I didn't say that about every single month. And either I have just gotten a lot weaker and more tired, or life has just gotten that much crazier. I'm not sure which, and I don't know if I would like either answer, to be honest. They both have implications. In any case, I still have a few pans left to hit on this palette, and so she is going to be rolling through to next month. Then I pulled the 10 of spades, and that was for favorite category. And my favorite category, without a doubt right now, is lip liners. If you saw my recent lip liner declutter, I think that went up last month. I'll link it for you here if you would like to see it. It is very clear that I am a little obsessed with lip liner right now. So I made a decision that I felt like was a little bit cheating. It was a little bit cheating, and I will tell you why. I rolled in my NYX Moonwalk lip liner for 10 uses. I usually take the number of uses off of the number on the card. So the 10 of spades would be 10 uses. In any case, this one felt like a little bit of a cheat to me because it is my favorite lip liner, and I was planning on using it at least 10 times over the last month anyway. So this way I just got to take credit for it in a panning project. I went ahead and used this, let's see, what was it at last count? At last count, I had used it 19 times, 19 of 10 times. She's kind of of getting a little short too, like not tiny, okay, but you can see I have gotten quite a bit of a way through this lip pencil. I love it so much, you guys. I feel like there is no lipstick in my collection that doesn't work with that lip liner. Maybe one of the reds. Maybe it wouldn't be best for a red, but anything else, NYX Moonwalk can improve it 100%. The next card that I pulled was the 10 of clubs, and that was for the prompt newest. So I was supposed to pull the newest product in my collection, and at the time that was this gloss from Romand. This is their Glasting Color Gloss in the shade Cream Haze. It is just a really pretty kind of milky pink gloss. I think you can see it there. Okay. Such a pretty gloss, and it has been going very well with the looks I have been doing lately. So this was rolled in for 10 uses, and I have used it 10 times. Actually, I feel like she would go well with what I have on now too. 11 times. In any case, we met our goal on this one. Last, I pulled the 7 of diamonds, and that was for metallic. That was the prompt metallic. So something with metallic packaging or something with a metallic formula. I chose this Danessa Myricks Blooming Romance palette. This is one of the newer palettes to my collection, and I am a little obsessed with this as well. I have been all about the pinks lately, although I did discover with these warmer shades here, these ones here and these two creates a very distinct orange smoky eye on me, and I can't say that an orange smoky eye is anything I ever really want to go for. But that does the trick. I rolled this in No Pan Left Behind, and I counted each of these as a different pan. So technically there are 20 pans in this palette, and I used all of them at least once over the last month, and I enjoyed all of them. Even the orange smoky look that I got. I found that if I add a little bit of purple to an orange eye look, I start to like it a whole lot more. Honestly, I could probably say that about any makeup item in my routine. Adding a little purple will improve it. The foundation I'm wearing right now, I actually put a little bit of a violet mixer in it to bring it closer to my undertone. Lipsticks with a little bit of purple, lip liners with a little bit of purple, blushes. I'm wearing one right now from Jason Wu, the Lilac shade, which is a very purple blush as well. Even bronzer. If a bronzer has just like a slightly violet undertone to it, I'm gonna like it more than I will something that's more golden. So that was a little bit of a tangent. Anyway, those are all of the products that I have been working on over the last month. I have not had a full refresh since the beginning of the year, thanks to the NARS. And then because of the Minka palette, we don't have one today either. Okay, let's go ahead and draw some new cards. I have my little handy deck of Mandalorian cards here. I just need to find the Jokers, and we're gonna pull both of these out. Okay, I have my red and black Jokers, which is a little Jawa and a little Tuscan Raider. We're gonna go with the Tuscan Raider this time. We're gonna set this one aside, and we will put this one back in the deck, and then we will shuffle. Let's see if I can remember how to do a bridge. That was all right. It was all right. Not a pro. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. That should be good. I'm going to go ahead and just pull 4 cards off the top. That is the 9 of Hearts, the 5 of Hearts, the Ace of Diamonds, and then the Queen of Diamonds. All right. Another month without the Joker. Hooray. So let's pull up the game board, which Emily updates for us every month, and we will take a look at the prompts. Okay, you guys, this is the game board for Deck of Panning this month. Emily shuffles this every month except for the face cards. So the first card that I drew was the 5 of Hearts, and that's for seasonal. Actually, I think I had that one not last month, but the month before. Then I drew the 9 of Hearts, and that's primer. I actually only have a couple of primers, so that shouldn't be too hard. Then we pulled the Ace of Diamonds, which is pick up 2. Okay, I have gotten this mixed up before, but I think I have it down. I'm going to discard this card, and then we're going to go back to the deck, and we're going to pull 2 more. So I'm going to end up here with 6 total products to work on over the next month. So we have the 2 of Diamonds. Oh my gosh, why so many diamonds? 8 of Diamonds. I swear, every time I do this, I feel like girl, did you even shuffle this deck? But I did. You heard me do it. So the 2 new cards are the 2 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds. So let's look at what those are. Okay, 2 of diamonds, graveyard. What exactly does graveyard mean? Prompts key. Let's see, a product that's been in a project before. Well, I've been panning here for this is my 3rd year panning, so I'm sure we can find something. All right. The next one was the 8 of diamonds, a spray. I actually only have a couple of sprays as well, so I don't think that will be too difficult either. Next, I have the Queen of Diamonds, and that's a veto. It has been so long since I got a veto. I don't remember how that works. How does the veto work? How does the veto work? Veto will always be randomly placed. You can kick out a product if you choose. Okay. If I'm correct, I can hang on to this veto over the next couple of months and wait to use it. I feel like primer is probably kind of dead. It feels a little boring to me, so I could veto that one. But I think I'm going to actually hang on to this one for a little while longer in case I pull something truly egregious next month. So despite the pickup 2, it looks like I will only be pulling in 4 new products. I'm going to go choose my products and I will be back. Okay, we are back. I have my products. That took me a little bit because I was really searching for a way to make these prompts a little more interesting than they are to me. I feel like the cards were a little bit uninspiring this week. Usually, oh, hello kitty. I had to have a good think about what was going to make me excited about this month's round of Deck of Panning that I wasn't immediately getting from the prompts primer and spray and seasonal. While I don't have any specific eyeshadow palettes that I only reach for during a specific season, I do have some looks that I only really feel inspired to create during the summertime because they feel very summer coated to me. One of those looks is this really pretty green and pink, almost kind of watermelon-y type eyeshadow look. Now, the reason why this is particularly interesting to me is because I've never really pulled in a specific eyeshadow look as a product for a panning project, and that's what I'm going to be doing this time. Now, I have 2 versions of this eyeshadow look. I have one that is, well, it's pink and green, so it's never gonna be subtle, okay? But I have one that's a little softer, and then one that is very vibrant, bordering on neon. And I think I've worn both of them in videos before, so I'm going to try to find some screen caps of me wearing both of the versions of this look. Both of those looks are usually coming from these 2 palettes here. This is the Hella palette that Odin's Eye did in collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist here on YouTube. And this is the BH Cosmetics Trendy in Tokyo palette. Usually the look will come just from this palette, but occasionally I will need to dip into a shade from the Trendy in Tokyo, depending on which version of the look I'm trying to create, either the softer one or the more really punchy, vibrant one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to wear some version of this summery kind of watermelon-y type look, either the soft version or the really bold version, and I'm going to do that 5 times over the coming month. Next, I pulled the 9 of Hearts, and that was for the prompt primer. And I don't know, you guys, I couldn't find a way to make that prompt exciting in any way or inspiring in any way. So y'all, I'm just rolling in a primer. I think I have 3 primers right now, and this is one of them. This is the e.l.f. Power Grip Matte Primer. This came in an Ipsy earlier in the year. I have used it several times, and I really do think it is a very good mattifying primer. Do I think it is as effective as either my Danessa Myra Exploring Balm Powder or the One Size Oil Sucker? Oil Sucker, that's such a terrible name. Such a terrible name. But I mean, it is evocative at least. That one is fantastic as well at oil control, but I do think this is a really solid drugstore option. I'm gonna roll this one in for 9 uses. So what are you doing? There's a cat right here. You are gonna knock over my tripod, ma'am. Hello. She's just hoping she can position herself for scratches. Okay, the 2 of Diamonds was for a graveyard product, which is a product that has already been in another project. This is my 3rd year panning, and most of my goals are usage goals, not completion goals. So I had a lot to choose from here. However, I decided to pull in something that actually fairly recently rolled out of my Throwback 30 project pan. Obviously not because it was finished, but because I'd hit my usage goal. And that is my Give Me Glow lip liner in the shade Wicked. I actually recently decluttered most of my Give Me Glow lip liners because the formula did not age well. Give Me Glow has some beautiful colors. I don't know who the owner of the company is, but whoever is choosing their color ranges for pretty much everything, their blush, their bronzer, their eyeshadows, their lip liners, they are just so good at what they do, and I really, really appreciate the nuance and the range of undertones that Give Me Glow does. And because of that, I'm always interested in their products. However, I do feel like in most cases, their formulas need a little work, and their lip liners are no exception to that. This was a beautiful creamy lip liner when it first arrived, as all of my Give Me Glow liners were. But over the next several months, they started to get a little tuggy on the lips, and they started to ball up a little bit on the lip line and started to get a little bit chunky. This one in Wicked is my favorite because it's the purple one. And I have to admit, the formula is getting a little bit chunky. You guys, it's so pretty. Anyway, I can't wait to get this on my lips. She is a little chunky. I can usually get past that by applying it after my lipstick instead of before my lipstick. And that little bit of added slip from the previous product that I use helps avoid the balling up of the pigment on my lip line. I have yet to find another lip liner in this particular shade of purple. I'm still looking though, you guys. I think that's part of the reason why I have been on such a big lip liner binge over the last several months, is because I know I'm not going to be able to get this to perform for much longer. And I haven't yet found a dupe for it. And I love it so much. I'm not ready to let her go. So if you guys look at this, if any of you know of a lip liner that might match this one, please let me know, because I have got to find a replacement for this. This has already been discontinued by Give Me Glow. I can't get another one from them, but I need this lip liner still in my life. Hopefully in a better formula, but this color in particular, I need it. I need this one. So the card in question was the Two of Diamonds. I don't like to roll in anything for less than 5 uses because I kind of feel like, what's the point of using something twice, you know, in a project? So I'm going to go ahead and roll this in for 5 uses. Okay, last product was the Eight of Diamonds, and that was for the prompt spray. When I first read the prompt, of course, I was thinking, well, I have 2 setting sprays. I have the Gerard Slay All Day setting spray, and then I have the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. That's all I've got. So I was strictly thinking of setting or finishing sprays. But then I realized, hey, I can pull in anything in a spray bottle, anything that has a little spray pump. So I'm rolling this in. This is a perfume from Indulgent Moments. It is their pineapple and coconut milk perfume. This I picked it up at Marshall's for almost $20, which is a lot for a Marshall's spray. The reason I was willing to pay that much for this one though is because this is an almost dead-on dupe for Ellis Brooklyn's Miami Nectar, which is a perfume that I own. But I have been so obsessed with Miami Nectar since I picked it up back in April that I'm watching the level of the perfume drop with a little bit of trepidation, because I know I'm gonna want to buy another one as soon as she's gone. But maybe I won't have to do that so soon if I have this dupe. She is almost exact, almost exact. I feel like the fresh notes of this perfume are a little bit more intense in the Indulgent Moments version, and the sweeter notes are a little bit more faint than they are in the Miami Nectar. But honestly, it's really difficult to tell. I had to spray one on one arm and one on the other arm in order to be able to identify just that tiny bit of difference. But it is almost dead on. So if you love the Miami Nectar and you are wandering about your Marshalls or your TJ Maxx and you see this bottle here, I'm going to show you, Indulgent Moments Pineapple and Coconut Milk. It's almost identical, and it is so much less expensive. Anyway, I will be rolling this one in for 8 uses. And that is it, you guys. Those are all the products that are rolling into my Deck of Panning project pan for the coming month. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.